Hey, what's up everybody? How y'all doing? Welcome back. It's your boy Rock Sauce, and we're here to make a new video for you guys. Today, we are doing the Spellcaster Guide for WoW Classic, coming out in August. So we still have a few months, but in that time, we can start our planning now, see what characters you want to do, figure it out, and hopefully I'll be here today to help you make a decision if you wanted to twink, and which class or spec you wanted to do. So, this is a spellcaster guide, and this is going to be mostly for clothies, seeing as most of the gear will be in cloth, but also for other classes also, such as Druids, Paladins, and Shamans, because if you're going to be a spellcaster Druid, either Balance or Resto, some of the leather gear in this bracket in Classic may not have as much of the intellect as you would like, so you can substitute a few cloth pieces in, so you don't lose too much armor, but you do still gain some of those other stats you would like. Spirit, intellect, spell power, otherwise. It goes for Holy Paladins also, Elemental Shamans, or Resto Shamans. So I'll show you all the gear, all the cloth gear for spellcasters, and then when it comes to you making your character, you can kind of pick and choose, balance it out, which pieces you would like. So, let's get into it. So I'm here on my 29 Warlock Hulkswipe, who I've been playing since Classic, and I have the gear since Classic, and I've kept it all this time, you know, so I'm able to show you guys exactly what you should be looking for. So, as you can see here, my play time, 64 days total, 60 days at this level, 70,000 honorable kills on this level 29. So I've been here, you know, since Classic, just showing you my background. Alright, so heads up, the stats on this gear will be a little bit different than what it will be in Classic, because right now I'm running the modern WoW right now, BFA, but nonetheless it is the gear, and the stats might be just a little different, but it's still pretty much the best in slot. So let's start it off. 29 bracket, you'll probably want to do the engineering, get these goggles here. 22 intellect, that's going to be a lot of intellect, the most you can get at this level, and pretty much any spellcaster, regardless if you're a leather, mail, or cloth wear, if you are a spellcaster, you should be using this. Also for your neck, Crystal Starfire Medallion here. There may be another similar piece that you can find, just, you know, of the eagle, which will be similar stats, but this may be a little more easier to find. Either way, it's a drop. You might be able to find it on the auction house pretty cheap. Next is the Bearland pads. So this is a quest. I'm not going to get in too much detail of how to get each piece. Rather, I'll just show you where it is, and if you want to look up on your own where to find it, where to get it, or if you have questions in the comments, you can leave them there. I'll tell you a little more per piece. I don't want to make this video too long, but these are high in stamina and intellect. I don't think there's critical strike in Classic, but it's spirit, so it's pretty much high stats for your shoulders. These are the best you can get here. There's a couple pieces like this back and one of the rings I have, where in Classic WoW it has a lot of intellect, but like I said, the stats are a little different. This one will have negative stamina, so I believe it's 7 or 8 intellect, which is very high intellect, and as a spellcaster, that's what pretty much your main stat. And if you don't mind losing a little bit of stamina and you want more of an intellect based character, this is the way to go. Also, if you're a clothy, you have a few ways to make up for loss of stamina. Like if you're a warlock, you can sacrifice your Voidwalker here, you know, help you out a bit. Mages have blink, etc., stuff like that. So a little bit of loss of stamina, not too bad, especially if you balance it all out. You can find how much you like, you know. Next is Zealot's Robe. This is a high level robe. It's the best there is. In Classic, it's like 12 stam, maybe 6 intellect, something like that, but it's the best one. It's another quest here. The back was a drop that you can farm pretty easily, I think, somewhere, but this is a quest. Also, Gallon Cuffs, also a quest. High intellect and stamina here, also best in slot. I'm not going to get too much into the enchants, but I'll mention a couple. You can figure them out later if you have any questions or comments, you know, leave them there. Zealot Blade has always been pretty much the best since Classic. Always had intellect on the sword, so it's pretty much for Clothy. Or someone who would use a one-handed sword. There are maces that are really good too, but mages, warlocks don't really use maces, so if you can't use a mace, this will be the best for you. Offhand, it's a high level offhand here. It's full intellect, so if you want to do a lot of damage, that's kind of what I'm going for. If you are a healer, you might want to stack more stamina, but if you're putting out, you know, Elemental Shaman, Balance Druid, Mage, Warlock, Shadow Priest, if you want more intellect, more damage, this is the way to go. Also, there is the, if you want more stamina, there's the Furbolg Medicine Pouch. It's a grind to kill some Furbolgs. It's pretty good. If you want more of a, I think it's all stamina in Classic, so if you want that, you can do that. We can continue. Gloves, Hot Shot Pilot's Glove. This was my favorite piece of gear in all of Classic because it's like 0.01 drop chance in Nomergon, and it was so hard to get out there as a horde, especially in Classic back in the day. You know, you don't just queue up for it and go in there. You actually have to get out there and do it, and then it's very low drop chance, and they are the best gloves. For your belt and your boots, they're both going to be just the Arathi Basin rewards. You know, you win a few matches, get a couple badges, you turn those in. The boots are good because it has the run speed increased on them, which is pretty decent in a PvP, so you could get those. For pants, it's pretty much, you can go a couple different ways. Usually of the Eagle, you'll find like 9-9 pants or 8-8, 9 intellect, 9 stamina. That's how the stats were back then. You look out for those. Also, I'm not going to mention all the enchants, but there are a couple enchants that are pretty good that you usually will need a higher level character to help you out with. Like, for example, this pants enchant. That'll be used for, let me find it, spell threads. This is not the exact spell thread in Classic. I think it's from Burning Crusade. But there's similar ones to where you'll get it. Also, for your helm enchant, you'll get the Librum of Focus, which is like 100 health to your helm. So just a couple enchants that you'll want in Classic that are really good. That would be very beneficial to you. Black Widow Band, the ring, similar to the Cloak of Rot, where it's high intellect and you'll lose a little bit of stam. So you'll balance it out yourself, but if you're going for a lot of damage, this is the way to go. Also, if you are a Fire Mage or a Frost Mage, or you want to do Shadow Warlock, a lot of the gear, if you don't want straight intellect, you could get, you know, Shadow damage or Fire damage or Frost damage. And those are pretty easy to find on the auction house or drops just from the open world. But those are more common to find. These are more quest gear or nice gear to wear. So you have that choice, giving you the opportunity. Also, the Advisor's Ring, which is I think from Warsong, you can wear that. So the PvP gear that you get from Warsong and AB is really nice. If you wanted more of a staff, the Advisor's Gnarled Staff, which is pretty good if you want to use a staff, which is also I think Arathi or Warsong. And then, of course, there is the AGM, which is probably, like, if you're a Twink in Classic, this is the #1 way to, if you see a character with this, you're like, okay, they take it pretty seriously. You just have to go to the Grubashi Arena, win it 12 times, starts a quest, you'll get it. It says requires level 30, but in Classic, it didn't. You can get it at any level, I'm sure. And I got 2, shows how dedicated I was. So, yeah, that's pretty much the gear I have, tons of gear throughout the entire game since I've been playing, and I've kept it all seemingly for this reason. You know, I'm very excited for Classic to come back. We're gonna be starting our guild back, so we are top flight security right now, but we used to be 2 dots and a long staff. The name got reported. 2 dots and a long staff. You know, I was an Affliction Warlock back in the day in Classic. Seeing as I'm now Destruction, I guess that name doesn't fit too much, but it was a good name, and we're gonna bring it back to see how long it'll last for. So you guys can feel free to, when Classic comes out, join us on Kel'Thuzad's server. You can join us on 2 dots and a long staff. We'd love to have you. We'd be able to help you gear up. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you've made it this far. Appreciate it. And if you do choose to get all this gear, this is pretty much the look you'll get, because there's no transmog in Classic, so you're pretty much going to look similar to this. And if you do a little bit, you'll be able to spot twinks or, you know, nice geared low level characters, you know, from the engineering helm or the shoulders or the robes. You'll be able to spot them pretty much from what they look like, you know. So if you see anybody who looks similar to this, they're probably geared, so be ready for that. I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. I might do some more content for other classes, but this was pretty much, you know, broad scope for all spellcaster classes, so it's pretty much half of the classes you could be. So I might do a melee one coming up next if you guys would like. So thanks again, appreciate it. Rock Sauce out. Hope you guys have a good day, and stay tuned till next time. Peace.